Kelly Stamps and Lana Blakely are behind all of this. Remind me to thank them. On this channel, I've spoken about how I built the confidence to finally start posting online. I've talked about the art of getting started, and I've talked about my process for making YouTube videos. But something that I've never spoken about is how long I've actually wanted to do this for. I've not talked about what held me back for so long, and I've not talked about what finally encouraged me to get started. Believe it or not, I'm 28 and 10 years ago I started university, and at that time I was obsessed with YouTube. Well, okay, at that time I'm still pretty obsessed with YouTube, but at that time is when I first got into YouTube, and I was watching YouTubers all of the time in my revision breaks and in between studying. I absolutely loved productivity and study YouTubers, and a part of me really wished that I could be like them. I really wish that I could film myself studying, I wish that I could film my morning routines, and I really wish that I could just film my life as a university student. And whilst I really wanted to do those things, there were a few things holding me back. The first thing, and the most important, was confidence, and I think this is so common. I think there's so many people who would love to put themselves out there on social media, but they're too scared of what other people will think, especially their family and friends. We don't really care about putting ourselves out there to strangers, but when we think about family members or friends watching us, we just can't help but cringe. I still to some extent feel that way. I think that's really normal, but back then I was also lacking confidence in a more general sense as well. I had really poor self-esteem, I was struggling with social anxiety, and so I was struggling just to put myself out there in the real world, let alone on social media. There was always this huge part of me that wanted to do something on social media or online, so I kept telling my boyfriend at the time at university that I really had this creative itch and I just didn't know what to do with it. So in the end, I settled on making a dental blog, and on that blog I stayed completely anonymous and I just wrote articles and made videos about other dentists and their careers. I thought that maybe that would satisfy my creative itch, but in reality it was just me hiding behind a curtain. The second thing is YouTube itself. I think YouTube is so scary compared to any of the other social media platforms. When you compare YouTube to something like Instagram, I just feel like with Instagram you have so much more of a level of control with what you put out there, because you can edit your photos, you can choose which photos you want to put out there, you can choose which captions you want to put out there. But when you sit down and film a video, people are seeing you way more. They get such a good vibe for what your personality is like, they can see your flaws a little bit more, and you can't really edit yourself on a video very much, so it becomes really daunting. One of my fears with YouTube was just that I didn't have a big enough personality for it. And then the third thing which really held me back for so long was, what on earth do I make videos about? Because one, I was a dental student and we have this whole thing about confidentiality, but the second thing is my life outside of dental school just seemed so boring, and I thought me as a person wasn't very interesting, so I just thought I had nothing to share beyond dentistry, and I was really reluctant to make videos about dentistry. So those were the three things which held me back for so long, and this is the part where Kelly Stamps and Lana Blakely come into it. I don't see myself as calm and collected as Lana Blakely, and I definitely don't see myself as self-assured and humorous as Kelly Stamps. But when I came across their channels, it really broke that misconception that I had of YouTubers. I thought that in order to be on YouTube, you had to be really loud, really obviously funny, and really bubbly. At one point, I even told one of my friends to start a YouTube channel because I thought that she had a personality that was perfect for it. So anyways, the first video that I watched of Kelly Stamps was watch this before starting a YouTube channel. Oh my god, that hand is creepy. What? Why is she coming out of a cupboard? And why is she wearing a crown? Wait, is that a Burger King crown? So I watched that video with no intention of actually starting a YouTube channel because I think I mentally accepted a long time ago that it would never happen. I just watched it because the YouTube algorithm told me to. As I kept watching the video, and especially now that I've binge watched her entire channel, I've definitely joined the stampede. And in that video, she shared that she has 29,000 subscribers and that she was making about £1,000 a month. So she made me realize how doable it actually is, even though she pointed out that you do need to have the personality for YouTube.
Number one is personality. You either have it or you don't. Next.
Then I also came across Lana Blakely. So before Lana Blakely, I was following YouTubers like Ali Abdaal, who talks at lightning speed, and he was like most YouTubers that I followed. They talk with so much energy that I just assumed that's what you had to be like to do well on YouTube. But Lana Blakely talks so slowly.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This is a very quick announcement video. sometimes it's none of those things, and sometimes it's all of them.
And I think when I first came across her channel after watching people like Ali for so long, I actually thought, oh my god, this is too slow for me. But after watching more and more of her videos, I realized how much of a breath of fresh air that actually was. And her videos might be low energy, but there's still this really strong sense of personality. You get a really strong vibe of who she actually is. And I think what I enjoy most about her channel is she shares sides of herself that I think most people, myself included, would be quite ashamed to admit, like her joy of being alone. I love that she's so introverted and that's become part of her identity and part of her channel. Even Kelly Stamps, who you would assume is an extrovert, is actually an introvert, and I bloody love that. For so long, I've really associated the things that I don't necessarily like about myself with my introversion, like my lack of confidence, my overthinking, and my social anxiety. Seeing Kelly Stamps and Lana Blakely be so comfortable with who they are, I think for me personally, it's just so reassuring to see these really intelligent women talking about things that they really want to talk about in a way that's so natural to them. And they've basically built their channels around their personality and attracted similar people because of it. And their channels aren't super niche either, which again, I absolutely love, because the advice that I've been told over and over again is that you should niche down. If you look at Lana Blakely's channel, she's got such a good mix of topics. She doesn't just talk about being introverted or just talk about dating. And with Kelly's channel, well, to be honest, I have no idea what her channel is about.
I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what I am. I'm just attracted to tiramisu and making money.
But all I know is that she's killing it on YouTube and she's not super niche at all. She makes just really fun and really random videos, and the main thing that she's giving us is her personality. So whereas most YouTubers have this really clearly defined niche like fitness or productivity, these two YouTubers really woke me up to realizing that sometimes your personality can be your niche. Their video ideas might not be very consistent, but who they are is very consistent, and that's what we go there for. So all in all, basically the message is that you don't have to be Lana Blakely and you don't have to be Kelly Stamps. You just have to show up as you. Maybe that's why it's called YouTube. But this really shattered the glass ceiling for me, because it made me realize that I had been using the fact that I thought I didn't have a personality as an excuse for all of these years. I was just shying away from a more uncomfortable truth, and that was that I was just really shit scared to put myself out there and really shit scared to fail in front of basically the whole world. I was really letting other people dictate my life, because I was letting the idea of judgment from other people hold me back from doing something that I wanted to do. And it wasn't even real judgment from people, it was just the idea of judgment from other people. I wanted to start a channel at 18, and imagine if I actually had. I could have blown up ages ago and been sitting on a pile of money right now, and this video would be called 10 years on YouTube. I don't look back and think, oh, I'm so glad I didn't start a YouTube channel, and I'm so glad that I saved myself from all of that ridicule from people. When I first started my channel, if I'm honest, I kept it a complete secret. I wouldn't tell anyone, and when people asked me what I did on my days off, I just completely lied about it. But nowadays, I really own it, and I just tell people that I'm a YouTuber, and it doesn't seem like a big deal anymore. I know YouTube shouldn't be that deep, and to be honest, it's not, but I do think that putting yourself out there, and I mean really putting yourself out there as your most real and authentic self, is one of the best forms of self-love there is. So I guess for anyone who wants to start a YouTube channel, or for anyone who wants to start anything, what's holding you back? What lies are you telling yourself? You don't have to be extroverted, you don't have to be bubbly, and you don't have to have this great sense of humor. You don't have to have a niche if you don't want one. You don't have to grow your channel to 1 million subscribers to say that you're a YouTuber. And you don't have to look or be like anyone that you see on YouTube in order to do it. You don't have to be like Kelly Stamps or Lana Blakely. You just have to be you, show up, see what happens, and have fun. So stay intentional and go create some magic.